This is the last video in this set of videos about teaching guided reading for picture books. We've been using the book Bill's First Day, and at this point, hopefully you've already watched about how to begin your guided reading, how to do miscue analysis in the middle, and now we're ready to learn about how to end your guided reading. So, ideally at this point, you've stopped the students and you've drawn their attention to you, where you're now going to bring back up your purpose. You've set a purpose at the very end of your intro to your guided reading to give the students something to look for and think about while they're reading. At this point, you have to bring back up that purpose. So whatever that was, you bring it back up and say, you were reading to find out whatever that was. And then let the students have a discussion about it. Hopefully you thought of a good enough question that the students are able to make connections, to have interesting thoughts about it, to have, well, he did this, but I would have done that, and to have good connections that bring them together as a group over the book. And at that point, you're able to draw out more out of the students than just basic regurgitation of facts. It's not going to be as helpful to say, who are all the people that Bill met, and then go through each of those people. That is not really helping them in their comprehension as much as it's helping them in their ability to go back through and fish for the answers you're looking for. You want to ask them questions that are deeper than that. You want to say things like, so how did Bill feel at the end? It doesn't say it explicitly in this book. You want to be able to say, you know, it talks about how Bill said that Ling was a good friend at the end. How do you know that that means that he had a good experience? Have you ever had a friend like Ling? How does it make you feel? And let them share their experiences with that. If your topic was more on, or your purpose was more on the school helpers, for example, with this book, you could bring up and say, is there anybody that Ling and Bill missed in their introductions? Is there anybody else that you would have introduced them to if he was at your school? You could even say, have any of you had experiences with these different school helpers, and how has it been? Is it helpful to know who they are? Does it make you feel more comfortable on the first day of school? And let the students discuss together. At that point, they're really engaging with the text, and it's more than just reading a boring book, because these books can be very boring, and then walking away and feeling like reading is boring, but to be able to really make connections with it. So once you've had a little discussion and engaged the students as much as possible, you'll end your lesson by reminding each of the students, hopefully, about what they worked on. So you can say, Claire, you and I worked on today about looking at the first and the last syllable and being able to figure out a word from there. Javier, you and I worked on using the pictures for context clues. Carl, you worked on going back and rereading a word that didn't make sense in the sentence, and going through each student and reminding them what they worked on, so that in the future, in their own individual reading experiences, they can remember, oh, when I was with my teacher, he or she told me that I needed to do this. And then they'll be able to apply those strategies in real life. That's the real purpose of guided reading, helping students to be able to comprehend on their own by giving them the strategies that they need. So that's how you would teach. Those are some ideas for how you would teach a beginning level guided reading with a picture book.